All right, put the money in the bag. Put it in. So that's probably going to be the only time you see that part of my costume during this video because I can't see while I'm wearing it. But it's not the only time you're going to see the alternate version of my costume, which is... Do you know what this is? Do you? Because I'm the version of him from that one episode where he... Also, I got new glasses. You might think this is part of the costume because SpongeBob, he wears glasses. These are actually like my real glasses. So if you're watching this, it's probably Halloween. Or if you're a patron, it is 2 days before Halloween. Become a patron now and you... So for Halloween this year, I wanted to talk about some horror stuff that I really like, kind of openly and freely. Like I had this kind of like outline of all the stuff I want to talk about, and that's still there, but I'm gonna not really be referring to it while I film this. So if I say something that sounds dumb, or if I forget to say something that's kind of essential to whatever argument I'm trying to make, just, you know, comments about it, and I'll see if I could kind of fix it. And you know, the point of this is not to do like a good bad thing. I just want to kind of talk about these works, not necessarily about how good they are, but just about things that I like from them that they intended to do or didn't intend to do, and what it means for them. Let's get started. So first I want to talk about Jason X, which is the 10th movie in the Friday the 13th series, if you count it as part of the series. It was the second movie that New Line Cinema made after buying the rights to Jason Voorhees in the Friday the 13th franchise from Paramount. So there's some film history for you. It kind of shines in a way that I started to explain in an essay that I never really finished. If you guys remember last year, I did this kind of unfinished essay that I put up about Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. And in that essay I talk a lot about like the mythical quality of Jason and how the priorities of the filmmakers seem to shift between each movie following that. You know, like Part 6 was like this perfect balance between a campfire story type thing and kind of trying new things within the world that they've established. And Part 7 kind of dove in one harsh direction, just doing like a brand new thing, and the brand new thing was Telekinetic Girl. And Part 8 kind of swung in the opposite direction and decided to focus more on the mythology and Jason's whole story being kind of related to the backstory of the main character, which was also not great. I actually like Part 8 a little bit. And then Part 9 swung in the other direction and did something completely different after New Line bought Jason from Paramount and decided to... Jason X, I actually think, funny enough, is the first time since Part 6 where it kind of finds that healthy middle of trying a bunch of new shit and also just kind of talking about the mythology of Jason in this way that's like kind of reverent, and it likes Jason a lot. And you know, this franchise has been around for a while, so the thing that I like so much, I guess, about Jason X is that it's like treading a ground that I found valuable in the series, like 4 entries before that. It's nice to see that cycle kind of, eventually the pendulum kind of hits a nice middle. I was going to wait to talk about the Slender Man thing, but I'm just going to talk about the Slender Man thing now, and I'm going to stand in this exact spot that I stood during my Slender Man essay to talk about it. So you guys already know how much I like Slender Man content and talk about Slender Man content. Today I wanted to talk about like a favorite or two of mine that like are not as well known and are ones that I actually personally like a little more than the other ones, and not for any reason of quality, just, you know, there's this personal kind of attachment I've grown for them for like small reasons, and I just want to recommend them. Okay, first of all, 100 Yard Stare is a great series that I really like. The Origin Files is also really great, and I guess I should talk about like my favorite series, which is I Can See the Giant. You guys should definitely check it out. It's been my favorite for a very long time. You could tell somebody made it with their own hands and what they had at their disposal, and it's just eerie as hell. Like, you could watch the series either linearly, like, you know, episode to episode, or you could just jump around even, and both are incredibly effective methods of viewing, in my opinion. Like, it's such a good series to binge and such a good series to just put an episode on when you feel like being spooky. It sets up this really neat atmosphere to a point that no matter what it does on camera, whether or not it looks real at times or whether or not it looks actually scary at times, like you're in it. And I kind of dig that, and I think that's really hard to do, and I think that the creator is an incredibly talented person, whom I know now, and I'm very grateful to know, and you guys should definitely check out I Can See the Giant and the other two series that I recommended, because those are also really good. The main series are great, obviously, you know, the ones that everybody knows, Marble Hornets, Tribe 12, Everyman Hybrid. You know, every once in a while, though, you know, check out a new one. You might find something that you like. And at most, you'll waste like an hour, maybe 2 hours. Okay, so I have a really strange relationship with the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. It came out in 2010. I had already been a huge Nightmare on Elm Street fan before that movie came out. I was really excited to see it, and I actually really liked it when I first saw it. It was actually the movie that inspired my really bad Elm Street fan film. It wasn't the rest of the series, it was actually the remake. It's what got me, like, wanting to get back to work on something. And, you know, as the years went on, obviously, like, I fell out of love with the remake for a lot of, like, the normal film school trapping reasons. You know, this is, you know, not well made, or the acting is weird, or it's just a retread of the original, this and that, and all the stuff that you heard a trillion times. But the thing about the 2010 Elm Street is that there are some really neat things that they just decided to do. And I don't know if it's something that was wholly intentional, but I think that upon, like, I guess a later viewing, it's at least fun to think about, I guess. But the main thing that the movie does that I think it kind of overlooks is the whole, like, did Freddy do it storyline, which I'm sure a lot of people, like, hated that. And I get why, especially if you're an Elm Street fan, you already know that that's silly, that of course he did it. That of course he, like, you know, was responsible for the murder and ellipses of other people, you know, of these kids. I mean, the more I watch it, the more it feels like a subversion, at least nowadays, even if it wasn't intended as one when it was first shot that way. I really like the idea that it's like, it starts off as an anti-believe the victims narrative, you know? Like, it's very, very clearly at the beginning trying to be like, hey, maybe you shouldn't just judge people for, you know, stuff that we're not sure are innocent or not. And then, since it's Freddy Krueger, and since we know he did it, it makes that whole argument look ridiculously silly. It's kind of great. It's kind of really great. I don't know, I just really love the idea of the remake positioning itself in that way where it's intentionally taking something iconic that we understand, and it's trying to recontextualize it in a way where it's like, this is obviously silly, so as to make a point about, you know, something that's going on. I hope that's what it was doing. If not, I'm going to close my eyes and pretend that it is what it's doing.
If I close my eyes, it doesn't seem so dark.
You know, I never actually seen the Halloween sequels until recently. I guess I didn't really bother. Like, I just kind of was really focused on Freddy and Jason. And what else did I even watch besides Freddy and Jason? I'm not a real horror fan. But I watched them all recently, and I thought, wow, what a colossal mess. Thematically, they get away from what the first one was kind of getting at. In an attempt to kind of make Michael Myers interesting, which is the opposite of what the first movie was trying to say. It was trying to say, like, oh, stop trying to understand him. Hi, I'm Michael Myers' doctor, and I don't think he should be alive. I'm his psychiatrist, and I don't think he should be alive. Loomis might as well have just looked into the camera and been like, I think we need to stop talking about the nuance of evil. We need to stop doing that. We need to stop. And so all these other movies happen that, you know, try and find the nuances of Michael Myers. Oh, he kills because anybody that remotely resembles his mother or his sister. So I don't remember. And then in comes Halloween 2018, which openly ignores all the sequels and gets back to that theme, which is great. I think that it's the proper sequel. Not even a sequel. I think it's actually like a real second half. Now, I know they're making more, and that's fine. But even if they weren't doing any more sequels, I love the idea of the 2018 Halloween and the original Halloween being this kind of like just 40-year two-parter. You know, because they're thematically like in sync with each other. They both care very much about what they're trying to say about evil. and they're very blunt about it, which I also really like. And I love blunt stuff, like where they just say, hey, stop. I don't know, it was a movie that really excited me when I first saw it, because I had a bunch of ideas about what the themes would be. I heard John Carpenter was working on it in some capacity, he was producing it, and I hoped that I would get even a little bit of what I hoped, and I ended up getting everything I had hoped and more. So, great movie. If you haven't seen the new Halloween, watch it. Watch the first one first. I think you'll get a way better appreciation, like, for just how well they flow into each other if you watch both at the same time. Does it have problems? No. Okay, I think I'm about to wrap it up. Just to clarify for anything I said earlier about any of these things, like, I'm trying to just focus on things that initially I liked about something. These things are by no means perfect, and some of them actually have way more problems than they're worth. So if any of the things that I talked about put you off and made you not want to watch it, don't watch it. These are in no way full endorsements of these projects. These are just me trying to find like contextual reasons to talk about art. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe. Support me on Patreon if you want. I at most post one video a month, and at least post one video every 4 months. So you wouldn't be spending much. I'm working on a couple things. I've been writing some stuff. I wanted to do a short film by this Halloween, but I started writing it like 2 weeks ago, and turns out that's impossible. So there will be a short film within the next month or two that I'm working on. At least one of them. I have a bunch of scripts I'm sitting on, and I can't wait to show you guys one of them. So hope you guys are doing great, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.